Hey, y'all, welcome to the cottage. Happy Saturday. I hope you guys are having a good day and enjoying whatever it is you are doing on your weekend. Welcome. We are going to do some messages here for you guys for the collective for romance, love, your love life, and we'll also look at job, money, and career as well. I hope you guys are doing good. After we do those readings, I am offering something that is unusual for me. I do this about once every 2 or 3 months with the $25 quick tarot questions. Those will be available after we do the live stream. And if you would like to book one, the directions to do so are below this video. I do not take super chat questions for those, but if you would like to book, there's a number of different payment methods. The link to get on the list is below this video. Hello, Sister Crow. Hello, Angel Eyes. Hello, I'm Jen Axe. How are you? Hey, Little Wave. How's everybody doing today? Welcome in. Happy Saturday. Hey, Kieran. How you doing? I hope you guys are doing good. You guys ready for me to throw some cards and spill some tea? Because I am. Let's see what's going on. I tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna look at love message number 1. What's going on in your love life right now? What's generally going on in the love lives of my subscribers right now and my viewers? Hey, Bria. What's going on in the love life of my folks that watch me? What's going on in love? 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 Tell me what's going on in love. What's going on in love for you guys? Let's take a look. What's going on in love? What's going on in love? Give me an update for romance for my folks today. Hey, Venus Jim. Hey, Astro Geek. What's going on in love? What's going on in love? What's going on in love? Why is the 7 of Swords here? Why are you side-eyeing something, collective? Why are you side-eyeing something? Whoever I'm picking up on is you may be dealing with something that has like broken trust. Somebody may be acting sneaky or suspicious. You know, they're raising your suspicions. They maybe even be acting detached. King of Swords here is the 7 of Swords, King of Swords, 9 of Swords in reverse. And I think if you've approached this person about this, collective, they've kind of brushed it off. Oh, it's not a big deal. You know, it's not that big of a deal. Don't worry. Almost kind of blowing you off. Collective. It's not that big of a deal. Don't worry about it. Is somebody sweeping something under the rug, or are they legit? Is something going on here? Some of you are dealing with someone with air in their chart, or you have air in your chart, because I've got 3 air sign cards here, okay? Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, very prominent today, at least coming out so far. You're up in your head. I don't care what your sign is. Whoever I'm reading for, you're up in your head, right? You're definitely up in your head. Tell me more about all of this, please. Tell me more about all of this. Why is the collective side-eyeing this person? What specifically is going on? Let's drill down on that 7 of Swords just a little bit. Give me a little bit more on this, please, for my folks that are watching. Give me a little bit more, please. A little bit more on this thing with the 7 of Swords. 4 of Pentacles. Ooh, the tea gets hotter. The Sun card. 9 of Wands. This person is trying to convince you that you feel like they're holding something back from you. Is this person detached and holds back from you? I also pick up that as a side story here. Their communication may not be the best. You may feel like they're not forthcoming with just being open in general, okay, with the 4 of Pentacles here. And the Nine of Wands in reverse, it's almost like there's two things that I hear this person saying. Okay, number one, I would never do anything to sabotage this thing. Or number two, you're just trying to sabotage this thing over nothing. It could be either one of those things. They almost are saying, you just want to automatically assume stuff before you have all the information. And yet, what you're telling me, collective, is that you don't have a lot of information because they are being detached and not really communicative about what's up. You know what I'm saying? I get a real detached energy, kind of dismissive about your concerns. Is that making sense to you guys? I hear a lot of you saying that actually makes sense with what you guys are experiencing. So, very interesting reading so far. I'm going to drill down a little bit more on this, okay? Going to drill down on a little bit more on this thing, okay? Give me a little bit more on this thing for the collective. Just give me some more details on this whole thing. Collective, what I hear you saying to me is this. To the person, you're saying to this person, hey, look, dude or dudette, if you give me only limited information, then I'm going to fill in the holes with my own storyline. Okay? You leave me no choice but to assume things. If you want me to have clarity, then you're going to have to give it to me, because right now, if you don't fill in the information, I'm going to create my own narrative, and based on the way that you're communicating, it's probably not going to be in your favor and look favorable toward your behavior. Right? I'm just saying. Let's see here. You're like, if you don't want me to create the narrative, then you do it. The floor is yours. Right? If you don't want me to create the narrative, then don't leave me any room. Don't leave me any room for guessing. Because I'm not going to put it in your favor based on the way that you are behaving right now. Correct? That. Some of you guys may be living with this person, or have lived with them, or talked marriage, been talking about oh. You may be. Are you thinking about telling them to shape up or ship out? I'm getting an ultimatum. Devil reverse. That's about cutting someone out. All right? That's all about cutting someone out. I kind of feel like, collective, you're in this energy of saying, okay, look, collective, ain't nobody got time for this mess, right? That's what I got. Ain't nobody got time for this. You feel like they're in their ego. You do. Oh my God. So when you confront them on this, then they go silent and give you the silent treatment. Does this person pout whenever you start calling them out and start asking them the hard questions that they don't want to deal with? Oh, the tap dancing. But I think they give you the silent treatment. What kind of mess is that? I think they give you the silent treatment. Oh my God, just get over it. I can't with this person. Not you, but whoever I'm reading about right now. Just get over it. Just get over it. Can you just get over it? Can you stop being so, right? Just get over it. You're overreacting. You're just creating drama. I told you in the beginning I didn't want any drama. And you're sitting here going, well, if you didn't want any drama, then you should be clear. You should give me clarity so that I don't have a reason to bring up your inconsistency. You're hot and cold. You're detached. You're acting all aloof. And then when I try to confront you about it, because I think something's going on, you act like I'm the problem. How does that work, right? How does that work? I mean, what kind of bullshit is that, right? That's what I got. Okay. I tell you what we're going to do, collective, and I don't often do this, but because we're getting such a very interesting story, I want to know what's going on over there. Can we just get to the root of the problem? So far, I've talked about your experience with this person. All right? So far, I have talked about your experience, okay? I want to know what they're feeling, thinking, what's going on over there. If your gut is right, or, or whatever, right? Let's get you some clarity. Since this person can't offer it, I'll do it for them, okay? That's why I get paid the big bucks, to bring clarity to your situation. So let me do my job. Let me cook for you right now, collective, and see what's actually going on over there. What's going on with this person? What's really going on behind the scenes? Behind that Four of Pentacles, behind that Seven of Swords, right? Behind that detached, dismissive energy here. What's going on? What's going on? Tell me what's going on over there. What is it? What is the real issue here? What's the real issue for the collective today? What's the real issue for those of you who are watching the video? Let's take a look. What? That don't make no sense. Justice in the upright. Ten of Swords in the reverse. Star card in the upright. Why is this person telling me they feel like they've been fair with you and that they want to stick with you and that they see a future with you? Collective. This is their intention. This is when behavior and words, or behavior and, or what am I trying to say? When words and actions aren't in the same, they're not even in the same house, let alone the same room. All right? I want to know, I want to know more. Why is there such inconsistency between what you observe and what they think they're actually doing? Why is there this abyss between your experiences and what they're saying they want or are doing? Let's see. Let's get more. Let's get a little bit more. Okay. Let's get a little. I want more. I got a little bit, but I want more. I want more information. I want more information. I'm not going to be satisfied with that. I've got mommy issues so far, and financial issues, and stability issues, and I want more than that. I want more than all that. I want more than that. Oh, Lord. Collective, you're going through it right now. I didn't realize how bad it was for you. I didn't realize. I'm glad we're doing this reading for you. All right. Lord. So, collective, here's the issue. And we're going to discuss this in some detail today, okay? Because I'm here to help you, okay? When I asked this person just now, why is there such a divide in what you're saying you're doing versus what my person that I'm reading for is experiencing, right? The words and the actions problem, right? And here's what your person said to me through the cards. Well, Auntie Karen, I had a rough home life. I got mommy issues and daddy issues, okay? Home life, literally. Four of Wands, Queen of Pentacles in reverse. There was a lot of instability, all right? A lot of instability here. And I have yet to process through that, right? I have absolutely yet to process through that, all right? And that's what they're saying, all right? And so let me just speak to that a little bit, collective. Do I believe them that that's why? Yes. Is that an excuse? You know where I'm going with this, don't you? Not at all. Not at all. That is not an excuse. Yeah, my fish died, so I cheated on you. Exactly. I mean, we've all, look, everybody on the planet's got some kind of trauma. All of us have had either a rough home life, or we got bullied, or we got, everybody's got something, okay? Everybody's got something, and I'm not dismissing everybody's trauma. It's real, okay? But we all have a responsibility to work through that stuff so that we don't, bleed on the people that, didn't cut us, right? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just real simple that way. It's just, and it is it easy to process through that stuff? No, it's not easy, but you have, collective. Can I ask y'all a question for everybody listening to me right now? Who here has experienced some sort of emotional trauma in your life? Have you ever had a heartbreak before you met this person? Did you have a rough home life? Did you got mommy or daddy issues, okay? Did you get bullied in school? Whatever, okay? And I would not make light of or dismiss any of that. But you don't bleed on people that cut you, so you can't let this person get a free pass to do that either, right? Can I just say that? I mean, I can feel I can feel empathy for the fact that a person has gone through rough times. My God, if anybody can have empathy for that, it's me, because my own life story looks like a damn shit show. But I don't, I take responsibility for myself and my own actions and my own self-awareness and my, propensity to bleed on people that didn't cut me. And therefore, I make special provisions not to do it. Not to do it. It's just that simple. So, collective, I submit to you, if this is your story, don't allow this person's past trauma be a ticket to give them access to continue to harm your beautiful heart, okay? And this is where we come into the question of this, all right? This is where you say to yourself, you may love this person, and if you do, that is fine, okay? You love who you love. But I want you to take a look at yourself and love yourself more. Because when choosing to be with a person and allowing them to continue bullshittery, okay, when choosing this means abandoning yourself and making sacrifices yourself, that's going to be where I hope you're going to always choose you, okay? That's what I hope. That's what I'm hoping, right? And so that's what I've got. That's what I've got, all right? As far as romance, number one. I may, you know what I may do, collective? I may see about new love for you. Can we do that, since that was kind of a tough message? And I know, I'm hearing a lot of you guys say this resonated, Karen, this is what I've been dealing with. You hit the nail on the head, da-da-da-da-da. And I'm glad it did, and I hope that it helped somebody to confirm that if you cut this person out, or you're doing this ultimatum, or just cutting them out altogether, that you should always choose you. All right. That being said, I don't want to leave you with that. I want to read New Love real quick. Like I said earlier, we are definitely going to do $25 tarot questions. I'm doing a blitz where we do quick tarot questions later. This is something I have not done in probably 3 or 4, maybe 5 months. And so if you would like to get in on it, it's super easy. I'm not doing super chats. And but the information of how to book payment is below this video. I've already got a couple of people booked. But at any rate, I want to see what's coming towards you in new love. New love. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Here we go. New love. Thank you, Sister Crow. Thank you for that. New love. Is there anything new around the collective as a whole right now? Is there anything new? If that story resonated with you, let's just pick up that same energy, hopefully, and see what we can find out for you in the new department. Let's switch gears and see if there's anybody new in your energy. If that story resonated with you, let's take a look and see if there is anyone new in your energy. Anybody new in your energy? Anybody new in your energy? Let's take a look. Is there anyone new out there? Let's specifically blow the new winds into the chat and see what we can find out. Collective, what you need to know about new love. What do you need to know about new love? Let's take a look. Let's take a look. So I have the High Priestess here. We're going to see what that's about. What is all this Piscean energy here in the chat? Hangman. Five of Swords. Okay. What I get, collective, I do get you kind of taking a break from love, okay? Not in a bad way. I think you kind of take a time out and work on yourself, specifically around your trust issues. That's going to be a hot button if that was your story earlier. Because I think you want to be able to give somebody a fair shot, just like you wanted a fair shot from this person that kind of banged you up, right? And I think, quite honestly, if that's your story, it probably did affect your ability to trust, right? I mean, a lot of my people that are listening to me right now, you're probably sitting there going, Auntie Karen, I sat there scratching my head wondering if I was crazy. It made me question my own reality. If they're really good at that gaslighting thing, sometimes that happens, and that's fair. That's fair. You put your trust in a person and then you believe them, and then when they start to tell you this stuff, you're like, I know I said this, or I know I saw this, okay? And they'll make you question your own brain, right? So I think you are taking a bit of a time out before new love with the High Priestess here and the Hangman. Several things here. I think you're kind of taking a look at your whole approach to love with the Hangman. Hangman is very much an internal work thing, right? And I think you're at this place where you're kind of realizing my whole approach to romance has got to change. If I want to have a different outcome, right, I got to take a different approach because I don't want the same thing to happen again, right? So I got to do something different, right? And so I kind of feel like this, collective, I feel like that you are in this energy where you're reevaluating how you go about love, how you go about scrutinizing romance partners. I think before you ever bring your heart to the table, your emotional investment, I think you're taking this step back and you're going, I really want to give people time to show me who they are before I give them my heart, And it's not to say that you're not open with them, you're just not giving them access to your beautiful heart. Because look, the love that you have to give other people, there is a value to that, and you should guard that, okay? You should absolutely guard that until somebody has shown themselves worthy of you giving to them in that way. Okay? That's not to say that you have to act cold or anything like that. Not at all. It just means that you are in this energy where, you know, you're just like, I'm just going to reserve judgment, right? I'm just going to reserve judgment until, you know, I know more. And I'm going to have a completely open mind. I'm not going to rush to judgment. I'm not going to sit here and think about, is this my future husband? Is this my future wife? I wonder if we'll have kids. I wonder where we're going to live. I wonder, you know, you're just going to sit there and go, I wonder what this person's next answer to this next question will be, right? And it's just that simple. You don't get ahead of yourself. You don't start thinking about marriage, right, until this person proves themselves worthy of the next 10 minutes of the conversation. You know, you can't go to point Z before you go to point A, B, C, D, and E. And I think that's where you are right now with this hangman energy, is I think you're taking a beat. And I think you're really reevaluating, you know, I want to redo this. I want to redo my entire approach to love. I'm going to redo the way I think and the way that I approach, and I'm going to even ask some hard questions. There you go. So after that, what do we have? After that, what do we have here? What do we have here? After that, what do we have for you guys after that? What do we have for you guys after that? After that. By the way, I have Robert and Charlotte on the list for $25 tarot questions so far. All right. Yeah, you know what I get? You're unassuming. You're not assuming anything. You're just going to let people show you who they are. You're not going to assume they're wonderful. You're not going to assume they're horrible. You're going to let them walk in with a clean slate, and they get to build your experience with them however they choose. Good, bad, indifferent. You're going to collect data. And from a collection of data built over time, you're going to make an informed, logical, not emotional decision. Okay? And you're not going to allow your emotions to get entangled in that thing. And if you're a person, you know, that has trouble kind of separating getting emotionally involved from physical intimacy, you may delay that a little bit too. And there's no crime in that. And look, I'm not the moral police, but sometimes that can affect our judgment. We all know that. Do I think the good things are coming towards you? Absolutely. I just think I just think you're not assuming anything. I think you're just leaving things open and letting things happen, and happen they will. The very first card out. The Wheel of Fortune here. Look at you breaking patterns. Hell yes, look at you breaking patterns, breaking through the norm, doing something different. My God, collective, what a glow up. The glow up is internal because now you have boundaries. Of course you're more attractive. Okay, you can be a male or a female, but of course you've had a glow up. Of course you become more like a magnet, okay? Because you don't grant access to just any Tom, Dick, Sally, or Susie, right? You know, you're open, but you're definitely not emotionally investing until somebody gives you a reason to, all right? Again, you're not going to assume anything. You're just going to be very discerning. And guess what else you're going to have in place here? Boundaries. Boundaries. And you're going to stick to them. And it's just a non-negotiable. You don't have to justify your boundaries. You don't have to explain why they exist. They exist. That's enough. And if they don't work for somebody, no harm, no foul. Let them keep it moving. You know, let them keep it moving. Get comfortable being alone. That's your best bet. Because if you can do that, then you can enter the dating world, okay, in a place where you're not going to settle for crumbs, all right? A thirsty person will drink something knowing it's poisonous. Don't be thirsty. Okay, fill up your own well. Fill up from your own inner love. Fill yourself up so that you're not out there thirsty. All right? Because I don't want you out there thirsty and drinking some shit. All right? I want my folks to be out there, living their best life, having their best, and being discerning and not settling for any bullshit anymore. We're done with all that, all right? And this doesn't come from an angry place, folks. It's just this simple. You don't have to yell your boundaries. You don't have to scream them. The person that needs to demonstrate how to treat you is the person in the mirror. You demonstrate how to treat you by how you treat yourself and what you settle for. And it can be something as a silent whisper. I will be treated sacredly. And that starts with the way you treat yourself and what you settle for. All right? The bullshit's in the past. The good shit, yeah. I told you you'd have love. There it is right there. I told you, all right? I told you. So you're not, you're not going to be single forever. And, not only that, let's talk about this, getting comfortable being alone, all right? You want to be so comfortable in your own peace and in your own life that instead of getting, this is going to help you to be more discerning when you deal with potentials out there, okay? Because you're going to be like this. I already have a fabulous life with a lot of happiness, laughter, and peace. Let me give this person an opportunity to show me how they might contribute to that or fit in with that or not. It's just that simple. That's what their competition is. It's not another man or woman. It's your current state of happiness and whether you're ready to put that on the line for this person. That right there. That right there. All right. So, with that being said, let's shift gears. I have Robert, Charlotte, and Taylor so far on the list. We are going to do a money reading real quick, and then we are going to switch over and do the $25 questions, okay? Robert said he was coming. Let me do this. I want to do something real quick here. I'm going to do the list a little different. Give me 1 second. All right, there we go. Let me make that a little bit smaller. What have I done here? Here we go. All right, let me put this over here. And we'll put this up here. Well, that doesn't fit. Hold on a minute. Maybe that'll fit. There we go. All right. Yes, so we are going to do the job, money, and career message here in just a minute, okay? Faith, how you doing? I love that you said that, Jen. Let me find where she said that. I wanted to pin it, Jen. She said, there she said it. She said, we can do this. So hard though, right? It is at first. I will grant you that, but I'm going to make you a promise right now. I'm going to make y'all a promise on this. Yes, it's hard at first because you're doing something that you're not used to doing, right? Setting boundaries, doing things differently because it's uncomfortable, and that's fair. It takes you out of your comfort zone, but outside the comfort zone, that's where the magic happens, okay? Now, I want to also say this to you. As you continue to choose yourself, actually continually choosing yourself in a sacred and respectful way is a form of healing and shadow work. Believe it or not, that's one of the easiest things you can do, to do shadow work. And it reinforces, and guess what? Over time, repeatedly doing that, it becomes a habit, and it almost becomes second nature. And you don't even get worried about it. You don't get stressed. You're just like, okay, data. Well, there's some data. That one's not fitting. Next. Not a big deal. But yeah, at first, it feels awkward. It feels hard, So that's a fair observation. All right. Let's do job, money, and career. Let's do job, money, and career for the collective. What do my folks need to know about money right now? Job, money, and career. It can be, Sister Crow, continually choosing yourself and honoring your boundaries. Yes, it's one way to do shadow work. It's a very powerful way to do shadow work. I don't even have a video about that on my Patreon content. And I have a lot of videos on there, but that is definitely one. Let's see what we've got. Let's see what we got around job, money, and career. Job, money, and career. I'm already getting some challenges around job, money, and career with that one card. We'll see. And I already believe I know why that's here. I already believe I know why that's here. All right. Let's take a look. Let's take a look and see what we got. Job, money, and career. I love it when that happens. I love it when that happens. Job, money, and career. What do we need to know? Okay. All right. What do we need to know about job, money, and career? What do we need to know about job, money, and career? What do we need to know about job, money, and career for the collective today? What's going on with job, money, and career for everyone, please? What's going on with job, money, and career? Job, money, and career. Job, money, and career, please. Okay. This is such a nice message. It's hard, okay? I could easily sit here and say everything is fine. You're going to make $1 million a day. But I'm going to tell you something that's realistic based on what I see in the cards and what I have intuitively felt about you guys, okay? You feel strapped, like you're out of options or have very few options, or you don't like the options. You may be having to make some hard choices here with the Seven of Cups in reverse and the Fool in reverse. You may feel like you're limited, okay? Clearly, the cards suggest that you prioritize what's important, all right? You may not like the options that you have, but you do have some agency over your situation. You absolutely have some agency. You may not have the best options, right? You may sometimes feel like you're having to make some hard decisions and make decisions like the lesser of two evils, which has the least amount of, pain as far as cutting expenses and making hard decisions and things of that nature, because that's what I'm picking up on. And what I also want to tell you is this. I want to tell you about the Moon card. That's the next card out that I'm seeing here. All right. I want to talk to you about the Moon card, the unknowns. Those are scary sometimes, right? We hate unknowns. Because if we know what to expect, or we think we know what to expect, then oftentimes, we feel like we're in control. I will tell you this. There's no such thing as being in control. There's the illusion of being in control, but we're never in control. So what I get from this thing, there is a twofold, and you're literally saying, I don't have the money for the things I need. Queen of Pentacles here in the reverse, all right? The Lovers card, okay, in the upright is about taking the high road. And that is twofold. That is about decisions. And we talked about decisions with regard to your money situation, right? We talked about decisions, taking the high road, sometimes looking at priorities. Secondly, you may not know where the money is coming from, and that is fair. ML, thank you. Thank you, my love. You may not know where the money is coming from, but I want to ask you a question. I want you to do me a favor, collective. I want you to think back to your life history, and I want you to ask yourself to think about the most hardest day financially that you ever had. I want you to think about the hardest day you ever had. And what I want you to do, I'm going to ask you something. Did you make it through that? Did you make it through? I'm not saying did it hurt. I'm not saying you didn't have painful decisions. I'm not saying you didn't struggle and have to make some difficult decisions. I'm asking you if you lived another day. And did you make it out kind of okay? Maybe even a little better than you thought you might have, but definitely you made it, okay? I mean, I've slept in my car. I've been, hungry. I have. And I'm not going to dismiss that if you have too. I'm just telling you my story and how I made it. And I'd be willing to bet you made it through yours too, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to be listening to this. So I want you to use that experience and say, worst comes to worst, I will make it. Worst comes to worst, I will make it through. I don't have to know how I'm going to make it through, but I'll figure it out. I will figure it out. I'll be damned if I'm going to lay here and not do nothing. I'm going to do what I can do. I'm going to pull from what I can pull. I'm going to use whatever resources I have to make it through, and that'll be that. And I will absolutely make it. Right? I will make it. There you go. There's a success story right there. Because I guarantee you, Kristen, that you're doing better now than you were then. And I'm sorry you went through that. I absolutely am. At the same time, I guarantee you're better off now than you were then. And I'm sure that's true for a lot of us, right? Oh my God, look at there. Look at there. See, she figured it out. She did what she could. She took what she had to work with, and she made it work for her. And I did that. And you did that too, or we wouldn't be having this conversation. All right? So what I want you to do is remind yourself of the times that you had it so fucking hard. And somehow or another, something worked out. And you didn't know at the time how you were going to make it through. You were looking through clouds of confusion here. Okay? And yet you made it through. And you'll do it again. You're more powerful than you could ever realize. Okay? You literally have divine energy within you. You absolutely do. There you go. So that's what it's going to take to make it. A belief in yourself and taking action with what you have. You may not like the things that you have to do or the limited decisions you have, but you have a choice. You always have a choice. You always have a choice. There you go. I couldn't have said it better myself. So that's what I've got as far as the money reading. That's what I got as far as the money reading goes, and I hope that helps you guys. I need to update the list real quick before we get started on the readings. After Taylor, we have Steph and Carolyn. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right. I don't think Robert has made it, so we're going to go straight to you, Charlotte, and read for you. All right. Let's take a look. Let's take a, uh-oh, what'd I do? Okay, there I am. All right, here we go. All right, so I'm going to read for Charlotte first. And I think Robert will be here shortly. All right, let's go to Charlotte. Let's go to Charlotte. All right, here we go. All right, let me timestamp for you. I am doing timestamp for these, by the way. Okay, Taylor, I got you, love. All right, so Charlotte is up first. Charlotte is up first. Charlotte is a Taurus, Libra moon, and Sagittarius rising. I would like some insight into my love life. Dated a Virgo for over 10 years and it went nowhere. Crushing on a Leo, but not sure if he likes me. Who is in my future romantically? I tell you what we'll do. We'll pull a couple of cards on the Virgo and a couple of cards on the Leo and see what we can find out. Or do you want, let's just, well, it went nowhere. I won't do the Virgo because you're kind of saying that's kind of in the past. Let's pull on the Leo and see if see what that looks like, if it's the Leo or someone else. Let's see. Give me the cards on the Leo for Charlotte. The Taurus. Give me the card. Tell me about this Leo and what things look like with the energies around this Leo for Charlotte. Tell me what the energies look like for this Leo. Tell me what the energies look like for this Leo towards Charlotte, the Taurus. Let's see. Let's see what we got. Here's what I get. The Seven of Swords, the Ace of Swords, and the Two of Pentacles. I think it is likely that you might get into a relationship with a Leo with the Two of Pentacles in reverse and the Two of Cups in the upright. I feel like that there is an issue here with some trust issues that you have going into that you may or may not be aware of. They may affect you more than you realize. With the Seven of Swords and the Ace of Swords in the reverse, you may also struggle with discernment still, okay? So you may, I do feel like there's a possibility that you will get into a connection with this Leo. The problem is I think you're going to start overthinking with the Four of Swords in reverse. Okay, and that's from these trust issues. Okay, that's from these trust issues. Do I think you have cause to worry? Possibly. I do think it may be a little bit one-sided. I'm literally picking up with the Two of Pentacles in reverse. That suggests that you're moving too fast into a new connection. Okay. That is why that Two of Pentacles came up in the reverse. So I do see you getting into a connection. I see it being too soon. And I see it causing you stress and angst because you've got some unresolved issues here. Okay? I think there is some happiness here between you two and some stability. You guys may actually even end up moving in together. I mean, it could go somewhere. But the problem is the Six of Pentacles in the reverse. There's these trust issues are going to get the best of you. And I think if you're not careful, it's going to create issues. It's going to create issues maybe around fears, maybe around vulnerability, okay, that kind of thing. So I don't think the Leo is the one. Right now, I think Charlotte is the one. I think it's time for you to romance yourself first. And work on those trust issues, all right? Work on those trust issues. Work on healing that. That's what I got, Charlotte. That's what I got. So I think it's some unknown. I think it is I think if you wanted to be in a relationship with a Leo, you would. But I think it's too soon. I think it's too soon based on, just some things. And it's more than time. Time does not heal all wounds. It's time plus actual work, right? So I want you to keep that in mind, that you probably need to work on those trust issues a bit first. All right. All right. Let's go to, this is Taylor. And Taylor said earlier that she said, if I don't answer while you're reading for me, it's because I got my hands in dough. I want to know what she's cooking, and I want to know if I see Sister Crow saying I'm gonna head over to Taylor's for dinner. I may go with you, Sister Crow. You know what? I do that, Sister Crow, as well. I'm very careful about what I put in my ears and what I listen to, the news, all that kind of shit. I cleaned up my Facebook feed. Those people that are constantly bitching and moaning, I didn't say anything to them, but they don't appear on my feed anymore because, I don't want to hear that. I'm not somebody that people can just constantly try. I know everybody has rough times, but if they're just continually on that shit, it's like, nah, we're not doing that. Oh, well, Cookie sounds amazing. All right, so this is Taylor. And Taylor is, I do not like to ask about love and romance while focusing on myself, but I guess it wouldn't hurt to ask and meet the person I'll be in a relationship with through work or some random encounter. I'm taking things slow regardless. It will be different this time around. I am different than I was earlier this year. And that, my friend, is the greatest part. Let's see what the romance energies look like around you. Is there a random meeting? Is there a random encounter around Taylor in the near future that could result in romance? Is there a random encounter around Taylor that could result in romance? Is there a random encounter around Taylor that could result in romance? Taylor the Capricorn, is there a random encounter? Is there a random encounter? I just heard some enchanted evening. Do you have any events coming up soon that you're going to, Taylor? That's such a weird thing that I would hear. That's not even a song that is in my thousands of songs of repertoire. Is there a random encounter for Taylor the Capricorn? Is there a random encounter? Yes. So I did pick something up. You have not met this person yet. This is going to be very unexpected. Wow. Might you meet new people there? I'm not sure. There's an unknown. There's also somebody you have history. You've got two different people in your energy, Taylor. There's an unknown. You have a person with whom you have history that's in your energy, but you've got an unknown, a literal unknown. Tell me more about it. This person has done a lot of work on themselves too. They may be a little bit shy, a little bit reserved. I am picking that up. Oh, they're smart though. They're very smart. They're reserved. They have no time for bullshit. They've done a lot of work on themselves. They're very reserved. But they're very smart, very wise. Oh, I like this person. They're very considerate. I'm getting this person is Taylor, I don't know if it's at this party, but what I can tell you is that your person is an unknown. You've not met them yet. Will it be random? Yes. That means that they will understand me when they meet me. Yeah. And, and not only that, even if they don't, quote unquote, understand you, if they are curious enough to learn about you, right? I mean, what kind of cool thing is that where somebody says, I don't know you, but I sure do want to. I find you so fascinating so far. What's behind that curtain? How do you feel about this? What do you do when this happens? How do you feel about this? From the most mundane stuff to otherwise. That's the fire, right? That's the fire. This person is I may be wrong on the zodiac sign. They're going to have an Aquarian vibe to them. They're going to be kind of Saturnian, but a little bit different than you. You're Saturnian because you're Capricorn. Aquarians are Saturnian too, but in a little bit different of a vibe, okay? I do get you falling in love. The first card out was the Queen of Cups. That was why I said yes to my question, all right? So I'm really weird. Most people struggle to understand me on a personal. Well, this one's going to want to know you. This person may not understand you, but they're going to want to know you, and they'll be able to understand you as they get to know you. They'll get you. They'll be like, another weirdo like me. Hell yeah. That's what I get. I like this. Hey, David, how you doing? I like that for you, Taylor, and I hope that helps you. So, yes, I absolutely feel like it's a thing. I absolutely feel like it's going to be a thing for you. One of my friends is clairvoyant. She also said I would meet an Aquarian. What? That makes me do a double take. Oh my God. That's crazy. Speaking of Aquarians, we're getting ready to read for one. Yeah, I even pulled the King of Swords on that. That's kind of where I got a lot of my vibe off of that person. And then right behind that, okay, Taylor, just so you know this, right behind that King of Swords, I got the Hangman. That's a card of somebody who is very considerate, empathetic, reserved, very reserved. I think this person, whoever this is, may be a little bit, what's the right word? Just reserved. That's the best way to put it. I didn't pull much on that past person because I figured you didn't give a crap on the past person. But I definitely, there's an ex that's persistent. And they did not come in with a good energy. I can tell you that as well. Hey, Scorpio lady, how you doing? All right, so let's read. Speaking of Aquarians, let's read for Steph. All right, Steph, let's pull a general message for Steph. You're exactly where you're supposed to be, Steph. Just so you know. Hey, Cindy. We are doing the paid $25 questions right now, Cindy. All right, let's take a look at Steph the Aquarius. Let's take a look at Steph. What does Steph need to know? What does Steph need to know? What does Steph need to know? Steph is very Saturnian too. She is a Capricorn rising with an Aquarius sun. Cool, cool, cool. Let's take a look. What does my friend Steph need to know? Steph the Aquarius with the Saturn Sun and the Saturn rising. Let's take a look. I might cry today. Steph, you know, the first card out was the Ten of Pentacles. That can mean a couple of different things, right? It can mean money, clearly. It can mean a solid, really, really solid relationship. And it can speak to a healthy, grounded, happy family. And then I pulled, and I just realized that not only did I pull the star card, I pulled your energy in this thing, all right? And that's when I smiled, because I knew what that Ten of Pentacles was about. There is always hope. There is always hope for family, for legacy, for stability, for happiness, for cooperation. There's always hope. And that is you right there. That star card leading the pack. That is you leading the pack. And then I had the Ace of Pentacles. It's a new day. It's a new start. It's a new day. It's a new start. It's a stable start. I'm going to get more on this for you, because I think I know what that's about. I think I know what that Ten of Pentacles is trying to say to us. You know, let's talk about the star card. And I know you know the card meanings. I know that. I love the star card. It's one of my two favorite cards of the deck. The star card is about hope, healing, optimism, better days ahead, your best days being in front of you. The star card does not suggest that everything is fine right now. It just promises you that if you stay true to yourself and stay on your journey, that it will be. The star card is what leads us through the dark night of the star is what leads us through the dark night of the soul, where we otherwise can't see. And by the way, the star is within you. You hold the lantern for yourself sometimes, right? But in holding the lantern for yourself, you also hold the lantern for others who choose to follow. And with that Ten of Pentacles being here, I absolutely don't feel like you're walking alone. You might be at the front leading the pack, okay? But as you are continuing to walk this path of self-discovery through some really tough times, you're not alone. There are others that are following you, and I feel like that is family as a whole. Thank you, Tiger Lily. There you go. Hey, money in the bag. I'm going to get a little bit more on this for you, Steph. You know, the star leads us to the morning when the sun comes out, right? The star is the hope that we're heading toward the sun, right? That's what the star... Look at you! I can't make this up. Look at the lantern. Look at the look. You may have started, look at the lantern. This is the Hermit card. You may have started this journey alone, but you won't end it alone. You may have started this journey alone, but you won't end it alone. So I want you to not fear. I don't want you to fear, all right? Tell me more for Steph. Tell me more for Steph. You may have started this journey alone, but you won't finish it. Girl, King of Pentacles, girl. Girl! You don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to really say a lot. All you got to do is just lead the path. Remain hopeful. Remain optimistic. Others will follow. I'm going to tell you another way that I'm seeing this too, Steph, because I know you. Okay? Because I know you. I think this is some confirmation of things that I have felt. All right? Hey, Birdman. I think that this is some confirmation of some things I felt. You may have started the journey alone. You won't finish alone. But this is also a legacy here. Right here. And I think it goes outside of even your family. I think it starts there. But I absolutely see you working with people one day. I really do. I just do. In fact, I already see that. It's just more informal. But I absolutely do. I know as a person that holds the lantern for people, sometimes it can get discouraging, right? Because sometimes people don't see, but you can't measure success on whether or not people get it. You measure success on, at the end of the day, if you did everything you could. And you know, and I know that one specific example that we've been talking about throughout the day today, you absolutely knocked it out of the park. So there you go. There you go, my friend. I hope that helped you. I hope that helped you. Hey, Rachel, how you doing? Birdie, how you doing? Birdie, do you want to go after Emiko? Tell me what you want to do, Birdie, about, because I still owe you one. I still got you one that I owe you. And I can put you on the list, or we can still just put it on hold. Whatever you want me to do is fine. I'm getting ready to read for Carolyn next. I hope you guys are doing good. Let's read for Miss Carolyn. Carolyn, the Sagittarius. Let me update the list, Carolyn, real quick. Zachary just booked. I'm going to put Zachary on the list real quick. I kind of like having this little thing up here when I do paid readings. Leave it on the shelf. All right, I'll do that for you, Birdie. You got it. We'll leave one in the hopper for you, for sure. All right. Next up is Carolyn. Let's read for Carolyn real quick. Carolyn is a Saggy-Waggy. Sagilicious in the house. We got some Sagilicious energy up in here. All right, Miss Carolyn, what's next for in love for me? Let's see what's next for love for Carolyn, the Sagittarius. Carolyn, the Sagittarius. I'm so glad I used this deck today because the pictures are just so good. I haven't, you know, this is Old Faithful, but I put Old Faithful aside for a little bit, and I'm glad to read with Old Faithful again. All right. Tell me about what is next in love for Carolyn, my Sagittarius friend. What is next in love for Carolyn, my Sagittarius friend? What is next in love for Carolyn, my Sagittarius friend? The Hangman was the first card out. What is next in love for Carolyn, my Sagittarius friend? What is next in love for my Sagittarius friend, Carolyn? Sagittarius. I think that's such a cute name. Some people get mad at me for saying that, but I mean it from just the biggest love, right? I know, I love this deck so much. All right. What's next in love for Carolyn the Sag? What's next in love for Carolyn the Sagittarius, please? What's next in love for Carolyn the Sagittarius? All right. Girl, boy, I got some tea for you. You ain't playing. What else? All right, so here's what I got. Let me pull. Okay, I'm glad I pulled one more. I knew I needed to pull one more. All right, so here's what I got, beautiful. Let's see what I can tell you. Yours is quite the journey, yes. Quite the journey. I literally have the Chariot card, not first. We'll get to that, but I don't want to give you too much too quick. Step one, why do I get the impression that you're taking a beat or have taken a beat with the Hangman here? Not in a bad way. But I literally get you kind of taking a look at your past experiences, right? Because you talked about anything but a reconciliation with the Libra. And I don't see reconciliation. There is not the first reconciliation card of all these cards here. And trust me, there's enough of them in the deck that if there was any hint of that, it would have come out. Okay. So wish number one granted. Wish number two, I get you kind of taking a beat back at some point. I don't know if you're still doing that or if you have done that. And here's what I get you saying to yourself. You know what? I am tired of crying over spilled milk. I'm tired of these shady motherfuckers with the Five of Cups here in the reverse and the Moon in the upright. If they give me mixed signals, I'm going to give them mixed bye-byes. Hierophant in the reverse, Tower in the upright. I'm not entertaining it anymore. Why do I feel like the Tower is here? Because I think look, the Tower is about facing the uncomfortable truth. And sometimes that's about looking at our past, right? And saying, the way I have gone about this, it didn't work, okay? So I'm going to drop a bomb on my whole approach to love and take things differently, okay? And I get you doing that. And I don't know if you've done that or if you're doing that or if that's where you're headed next, but that's on this timeline. And then the next card out, Six of Cups in reverse. I'm tired of dealing with these people that are, past energy and bullshit, right? If they've got a bad track record, it's deuces, right? That's what you're telling me. You literally said that in the chat, and your cards are saying that, right? And yes, I love that, getting my fire back. And I see you doing that because this is where the Chariot card comes in. That's the next card out, and they're like, forward march. Okay, that's the Chariot. We're getting the hell up out of here in this bullshit energy that we've been in. This is you to you, right? We're getting up out of here. We're getting up out of here in this yucky energy, and we're going to create a new set of circumstances. And what was cool was this was the next card out, Queen of Pentacles. Why is that important? Why is that important? And I almost stopped on this card. I do have one more card, and I will tell you, I'm saving that for last though, Carolyn. But I want to pause here for a minute. It's a very important part of the journey because here's where you are at this point, okay, in time where, let's go back and talk about the Chariot card and how you get to this place. The Chariot is not an easy journey. Oh no, there's flat tires, potholes, broken down, engines and all kind of shit, right? Detours, wrong turns, but the Chariot makes it. Bloody but unbowed and determined to be successful. That's a warrior if there ever was one. And on the other side of that journey is this right here. And why is this Queen of Pentacles important? Because you're saying, I see my value. I will be treated sacredly. And if a person doesn't want to treat me sacredly, that's okay. They just got to go over there. They can't be here. They can't be in my energy. And if they can't treat me like I have value or see my value, that's a them problem. Because I see it and I know it to be true. And that's what's important. That's you. You are literally standing here like, I know what I bring to the table. I know my strengths, I know my weaknesses, and I know that my overall value as a human being, I deserve to be treated sacredly. I will treat myself sacredly, and I will not stand for anybody else that doesn't. And remember, Carolyn, when I was pulling cards and I said, let me pull just one more card, and I said, I'm so glad I did. You ready? You ready for the next card out? King of Pentacles. There it is. There it is. Girl, what you want? What you want? There it is. There it is. And that's how it's done, folks. That's how it's done. I'm proud of you, Carolyn. If nobody else told you that, I'm proud of you. But what's more important than my opinion is you should be proud of yourself. I love that. So you have somebody here who, you've probably heard me describe the King of Pentacles, but just to make sure that I cover everything in your reading that I need to, the King of Pentacles, how I interpret the King of Pentacles: consistency, stability, says what he means what he says, does what he says he's going to do, keeps his word, shows up consistently. In hard times, in good times, all that. There he is. So it may take you a minute, but you will find him. I have absolutely, I know I had to clear out all the shitty men to get to that, yes. And then you got to clear them out of your energy after that. And that is this very important journey right here, where you're kind of, making peace with the past in every sense of the word, and finding you, because you gotta get here, and that's okay. But you're definitely on the journey. You're definitely on the journey. That's how I interpret the Queen of Pentacles. Sometimes when I see the Queen of Pentacles in readings, sometimes you'll hear me say they've got you on a pedestal. You got to put yourself on that pedestal first. Notice this came before that King of Pentacles came. She put herself where she needed to be first. And she said, I will be treated sacredly. And when she came to that point and she had cleared all that yucky bullshit energy out, right? That's when Mr. Consistent showed up. Right. I do not do timelines, Carolyn. The best way you can speed that up, my darling, start focusing on building your own kingdom within yourself, right? Oh, thank you, Money in the Bag. Sending my big hugs to the toddler. You can speed that up by working on yourself. You can absolutely expedite that process. And the less you focus on it, and the more you focus on Carolyn and making yourself your own queen and building a life, that's going to expedite that. I hope that helps you. All right. Next up is Emiko. Thank you, love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There you go, Sister Crow. You heard me? You heard me right the first time. Absolutely. All right, let's read for Emiko. Emiko is a Gemini like me, dealing with a Virgo man. We are in separation. Is my ex with someone new or committed? He is trying to reconcile. All right, so let's see if he is coming to you in unencumbered, unattached, unencumbered. How is this Virgo man coming toward Emiko, the Gemini? How is this Virgo man? How is this Virgo man coming toward Emiko, the Gemini? How is this Virgo man coming toward Emiko, the Gemini? How is this Virgo man coming toward Emiko, the Gemini? How is this Virgo man coming toward Emiko, the Gemini? How is this Virgo man coming toward Emiko, the Gemini? Give me more on this. Okay, so here's what I have. What I get is I do see him coming back towards you with the Eight of Cups in reverse. Okay, Emiko. That's the first card here, and the Two of Pentacles in the upright came out right behind that. Those are my jumpers. The Two of Pentacles can mean one of two things when it comes out in the upright in the way that I interpret it. It can be somebody who possibly is juggling you with someone else, okay? Or possibly is non-committal, okay? I don't really see this person being with another person. So I do not feel like this person is with another person. What I do feel like is they are non-committal, and I think they have ulterior motives, okay? I don't think that this is something that is going to be lasting, and it is entirely possible that this Virgo man may be coming to you just for physical gratification. With the Ace of Wands here in the reverse, that can sometimes speak to a one and done. But there is a solution to protect yourself from that. Boundaries, okay? Boundaries around this Virgo. I am definitely getting that he cannot be trusted with the Five of Swords here, all right? So he's not being forthcoming with you about, I think, even his intentions. No, there's player energy here all day long. So do I think he's with someone? No. Do I think he entertains other people as a rule? I do. Do I think he's wanting to really commit to you? No, I don't. He may commit, but he's not going to live by that, is what I mean. All right, that's what's up. Yeah, Three of Swords here. There's heartbreak all over this thing, and a bit of a selfish energy, and perhaps him even acting like he's single whenever he tells you that he's wanting to commit to you. All right, so I definitely feel like that you are wise to question this and to give this some thought, because I think if you go back to this person, you are going to probably end up with another sadness, another heartbreak, and I don't want you to do that. So good on you for having the wherewithal to say something doesn't feel right here, because you're not wrong. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. And hopefully I've kind of given you the specifics of this. Ultimately, I think what he may do is try to be a friend with benefit towards you. He'll monkey around. He'll probably, say he wants to get back, and he may even commit to you, and then he may say, well, let's just be friends with benefits. Let's be open, or some kind of shit like that, okay? I kind of get that kind of mess from this Virgo toward you. And I hope that you don't stand for that. Thank you for that, Sister Crow. I love that. I love the Chariot card for a lot of reasons, and I know that you are absolutely a Cancer. I remember that, Sister Crow, and that represents Cancerian energy. So I hope that was something that hit with you. Hey, Robert, I hope you're feeling okay. Love bug. Robert, we are actually about to read for Zachary in a second. So if you want, I'll put you after Zachary. How about that? In fact, let me just go ahead and do that. All right, there we go. One of my assistant's cars broke down. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! That's crazy, Robert. That's crazy. You and cars are not getting along this week, Robert. All right. Oh, this is money in the bag. Okay, the one that she said she was wrestling with her toddler. Or he said, Zachary said. All right, so Zachary, let's see what's up. All right, so Zachary, Sagittarius, we have another Sagittarius in the house. Sagittarius rising, Leo sun and a Venus, Leo sun and moon and a Venus in Cancer. Wow, all that fire and then that watery Venus sign. By the way, I have the same Venus sign. All right, let's see what's up with Zachary, the Leo sun. And happy birthday, Zachary. Happy birthday to you. Tell me a general message for Zachary the Leo. Zachary the feisty, fiery feline. I'm losing the wrestling match, nervous for my reading. You're all right. What does Zachary the Leo sun need to know right now? What does Zachary the Leo sun need to know right now? What does Zachary the Leo sun need to know right now? What does Zachary the Leo sun need to know right now? What does Zachary the Leo sun... Oh, goodness. Goodness. What does Zachary the Leo sun need to know right now? What does Zachary the Leo sun need to know right now? Give me a general message for Zachary. The Leo sun and moon, Sag rising, Venus in Cancer. Bottom of the deck was the Sun card. That's Leo energy. All right, let's see what's up. Let's see. Oh, the Hermit. The Ace of Wands in the reverse. Nine of Pentacles in reverse. My gosh. All right. So here's what I have, Zachary. I have the Hermit card and the Ace of Wands reverse and the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. If that's not If that is not single and tired, I don't know what is. Single and feeling like you always have to do things on your own. You're the one that has to be the strong one. You're the one that has to figure things out. You're the one that has to take care of everything and everybody, and you sometimes feel depleted yourself, right? You sometimes feel like you're running on fumes. With the Ace of Wands here in the reverse, Nine of Pentacles in reverse, you may struggle and feel like you struggle to make it, all right? And then when I clarified that Nine of Pentacles here in the reverse, Queen of Cups, Judgment card, Strength card, Ten of Pentacles. Here's what I have. Never give up on yourself. I heard that. Never give up on yourself. Ever, ever, ever. Never think for a minute that you're incapable. I know it's hard. I don't want you to think that I am being dismissive of how it feels to have to hold it all together. I would never, ever, ever do that, okay? I am not in any way being dismissive of the fact that I feel like you're going through a hard, rough time right now. At the same time, I want to remind you who the hell you are. One of my favorite things ever actually is a very Leo thing, and I'm going to share it with you because I think it's relevant here. My favorite Disney movie, The Lion King. My favorite line from The Lion King, remember who you are. You didn't get here because you're a weak motherfucker. You didn't get to this place in life. You didn't succeed all these days behind you because you're weak. And I'm not saying this is making you stronger. You were already strong. I'm not going to sit here and say struggles make you stronger. That's bullshit. No, you are already strong. But I'm reminding you of how strong you are. You're stronger than you think you are. You absolutely can push through this, all right? Now, there's something very important here in this Queen of Cups and this Judgment card. The Judgment card is about resurrection, and in this case, we're talking about within you. The resurrection within you of the energy and the passion and the freshness, if you will. And the Queen of Cups is often, a parent. It can be very loving in any capacity. But in order for you to be a Queen of Cups, oh wow, or Queen or a King of Cups, okay? In order for you to be what you need to be, you've got to do something for me. You've got to take care of yourself. You've got to take care of yourself, okay? And I know it's hard right now because I know you feel pulled in a number of different directions. All right? Wow. But I want you to do something that brings you joy. And it doesn't have to be expensive. And but I want you to carve out time during your day to do something that brings you joy. Okay? Because I want you, we cannot, I know you've heard this said, and it's going to sound cliche, but this is what I'm picking up here. You can't pour from an empty cup. And you've got a lot that's depending on you right now, right? Not the least of which is a toddler. And you can't be what you need to that toddler if you don't prioritize yourself. Okay? You can't. This is a hard lesson for me as a parent. Okay? But it's absolutely important. What they say at the airlines, I don't know if you've ever, noticed when they do the little flight safety thing and they say, if you're traveling with a small child and the cabin loses pressure and the masks drop out of the ceiling, put your mask on first before you put the mask on the child. The reason they do that is because you can't take care of your child if you're not able to breathe. If you're not overflowing with love and energy and freshness from the inside, you can't give that to your toddler or to an employer or to a romantic partner or et cetera, right? So just know that. That's going to restore you. That's going to restore you. I want you to do some self-care for yourself, all right? That's going to restore your optimism and your stability. And quite frankly, I feel like you are going to do very, very well. And your outcome, the Star card and the Ten of Pentacles here, There is absolutely every reason to be hopeful because you have stability, you have abundance long term. Does that mean you're going to be a millionaire? Maybe, maybe not. You're going to feel like a millionaire, though. I will tell you that. And that's what's more important. Some of the most miserable people I know have a big bank account, right? Oh my gosh, I love that. And there you are doing the creative thing. And there you are doing the creative thing like a good little Leo. I am proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Good. And if that fills your cup and brings you joy, that's exactly what you need to be doing. So good on you. Good on you. And I hope that helps you. I hope that helps you. Hey, Robert, I had one girl book before you did. I'm going to read for her. I tell you what I'm going to do, and I think that's probably you, Divine Mystic. I hope that helped you, by the way, Zachary. I hope that helped you. And happy Leo season. I don't know when your birthday is, but I hope that your birthday was or is everything that you wish it to be. And I'm going to go, I'm going to let Jessica, I've got you. I think that's you that just booked. I'm going to put you on the list, but before I read for you, I'm going to go mark everything sold out. I'll read for you, and then we'll switch over to Robert. How about that? Does that sound good to you guys? Let's do that. So give me 1 second, you guys. And so I can do that. So give me 1 second. That way, Robert, you won't be waiting forever. And Does that make sense? All right. Now let me go over here. And hey, Birdie. Good to see you. Good to see you back. All right, let me go back here. I need to find... Give me 1 second. Why is that not doing? Just a second. I don't know why that's not doing. There we go. All right, Jessica, hang on 1 second. All right, there we go. All right, here we go. All right, and Robert, I'm getting your question. I see your questions coming, so thank you for sending those on. I will read for Jessica real quick, and then I'll get started on yours. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's awesome sauce. All right, Jessica, let's go read for you, love bug. All right. Here we go. And Robert, I owed you 1 for the other night, so I got 7 total for you today. Well, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Zachary. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. All right. Let me timestamp for Jessica real quick. All right, Jessica says, Virgo, what's coming toward me? All right, Jessica, do you mean in love or just in general? Because I can tailor this either way, and you tell me what you want to, what direction you want to take, and then we'll go there. Thank you, Robert. You're the best. But yeah, just tell me if you want love, general, or what. Let's do love. Okay. All right. Tell me about Jessica the Virgo, what she can expect around love. Tell me what Jessica can expect around love. Tell me what Jessica can expect around love. What can Jessica expect around love? What can Jessica expect around love? What can Jessica expect around love? Jessica the Virgo. The Star. That's a pretty good card. Why is the Emperor in the reverse? And the Strength card and the upright. Ace of Pentacles. Okay. What about this? Jessica, what I get is this. I get some things to tell you, and then I get some things to tell you of guidance, if you will. So I'm going to give you the guidance first that I got. Okay. I love the Star card, as you know, and it's all about hope, right? And optimism and better days ahead. And you do have that, okay? The short answer is you do have that, okay? You will have love in your life, and I see that, okay? But I want to tell you what I see about this from an observation standpoint. I am literally feeling like, whether you realize this or not, that you may have your hope in one basket, your eggs all in one basket, okay? And I think there are other options out there that you might miss, because I think you may, whether you realize this or not, somewhere in the back of your mind, I think you hope beyond hope that someone who has not been showing up for you will do that one day. And what I want to say is this: they may and they may not. Okay? But today, you're meant to live happily and not have your life on hold. Okay? And in many ways, I kind of feel like there's the possibility that you might have your life on hold, whether you realize that or not. That person is not showing up for you, and that's what you need to know and base your decisions on, because that's the only facts that you have right now. That's all you have to go on is their current actions, right? And so what I want to do is encourage you with the Hierophant in the reverse to break free and release what you thought your life, how you thought your life should go. All right? And broaden those parameters. Your love life may not go like you had hoped it would, but maybe it might be better. Maybe it might be better. In fact, I think it will. I have an Ace of Pentacles here, okay? So it is fair to mourn the loss of a future that we had envisioned not seemingly happening, right? That is completely fair to feel grief and sadness over that. So I don't want you to in any way think that I would be dismissive of that. I am not. I would never, okay? That is a hard thing to process. and it is reality when we go through a breakup, okay? And it's not easy. At the same time, holding on to that is actually creating more hardship for your beautiful heart, okay? And it's important that you allow yourself to grieve through those losses, okay? But at the same time, it's also important for you to work within the parameters of the information that you have. And you may not have the option of this person stepping up and having the future that you envisioned with a person, but you do have options. You absolutely have agency and sovereignty over your own life, and you get to decide whether you're going to have a happily ever after, and whether this person becomes a part of that. Well, maybe not, but will you have a happily ever after if you so choose? And am I encouraging you to get out there immediately after a loss? Absolutely not. I'm encouraging you to work through this stuff so that when you do get back out there, you're in a pretty healthy mindset and a lot more likely to have something healthy, okay? Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. So this actually is making sense to you. So I would say this: your future may, I want to tell you a little story about myself, okay? And this is not to make this about me, but I think it's relevant. Okay, yes, who actually shows up, exactly. But this little story telling about myself, I think, is relevant. So if you don't mind, I'm going to share that with you. I guess this was about 8 years ago. I went through inarguably the most painful breakup ever, most painful experience of my life, okay? It was so hard. I mean, it was hard for a long, long time, okay? And I was just devastated. I was debilitated, okay? And at that time, I thought, my future is so bleak, right? I mean, I really just had no hope in my mind, right? But I was determined to not let that completely rob me of what things I had in my life to love and to experience joy with, right? And so I started to work on myself. I started to heal, and I started to do shadow work, right? And I started to build a life. And it's taken me a long time to be where I am right now. And one thing I realized about the last 8 years that I want to point out to you, Jessica, is this. This is where this gets important. The girl that I was 8 years ago, if you had told that girl, this is how your life is going to be 8 years from now, and I would describe my life as it is right here in this moment, I would have looked at you and said, there is no fucking way that I'm going to have the job of my dreams and the friends of my dreams and the happiness and the success that I have and doing well, very well financially, okay? And that's not to brag, that's just where I am. That's just a whole big picture. It's part of it, right? If you had told me that I would be where I am right now 8 years ago, I would have said there ain't no fucking way. And so the reason that that's important to both of us is that means that our future, you and me, Jessica, the possibilities are limitless. Who knows how much better it could be than we imagined. And sometimes not getting what you thought you wanted is a wonderful stroke of luck. So that's why I felt like that was important. to your reading. And I hope that helps you. I hope that helps you. And thank you for allowing me to share that with you, because, you know, it's a perfect example of, hey, we don't know what the future holds. So let's just be open to receive, yes? There you go. And if I can do it, you can do it. Thank you, Faith. Thank you for that. All right. So, I hope that helped you, Jessica. I hope that helped you. And we are going to Robert. Robert. I got your questions, Robert. I'm fixing to pull them up. Let me go over here because I saw where you had sent them. Okay, let me scroll back up. I got them on my screen because I have a MacBook, so it comes through on my screen. All right, so question 1. This is the leftover question. Okay, here we go. All right, so Robert, let me timestamp for you, Robert. Let me timestamp for you. My pen stopped writing. There we go. All right, here we go. So Robert, the one from last time, where my ass week, this past week at the movement that I work for, these people are underpaying me and it's really bothering me. Do you see them making this right? I know we asked this before, but I'm telling you, the week that has just been, I've just had, has been hell. And I'm sorry, Robert. God, I hate that. I might see what I can find out for you, Robert, about all that. Let's see what I can find out. Tell me about movement. Tell me about movement. Tell me about movement. What is Robert? What's the future here? And then I'm also going to see if there's some advice that comes out, Robert. Somehow I feel like there may be some advice. Okay, that might be some advice right there. Let's see here. What about Robert at movement? How do we see that going, and is there advice? How do we see that going, and is there advice? How do we see that going, and is there advice? How do we see that going, and is there advice? I see them coming through for you with the I see you staying there, 4 of Wands, 3 of Wands, and the Queen of Pentacles. I kind of feel like things are going to calm down there. They are. 6 of Swords. They're getting rid of somebody. They're getting rid of somebody, and the company is going to do better. All right? Isn't that the one that they're getting rid of somebody, Robert, that we saw that they're probably letting somebody go? Oh, you're fine. You're fine, Jessica. You're fine. Because I feel like they're cutting out some bullshit. Is there some advice here? Yes. Yes, you do have advice. All right. And I thought you did. And I'm glad that I put cards on it because I was getting some of it intuitively, but not all of it, Robert. And let me tell you what I got. You are going to have to advocate for yourself, but you're going to have to be strategic in the timing of when and how you do it. You're going to have to Gemini, Robert, is what you're going to have to do. Okay? The timing of when you advocate for yourself about this thing, and I do get you having to stand your ground about something, okay, with the Seven of Wands here, but the Seven of Swords, you're going to have to be strategic about it. You're going to have to time this thing at a point in time. I hate to say this, Robert, business is business. We're talking about business right now, okay? You're going to have to find the point in time where you have the upper hand. Do you know what I'm saying? It's all about negotiating and not starting the negotiations until you're kind of in the where you're kind of sitting there with the ace up your sleeve anyway, and they know that. And what that means, I'm not sure. And it could be that they cut somebody out and then they need you, and when they need you is when you absolutely set the pace of, okay, this has got to be different. You got to take care of me, or I can't keep doing like this anymore. This is too much stress for what it's costing me too much energetically, and it's exhausting to me, and I'm working my butt off, and I need to be compensated accordingly, right? Or else I'm just not going to be able to give to this thing like I have been giving to it. You're going to have to, but that'll be it. But you'll have to time that in a strategic way. And I know you can. I absolutely know you can. So that's what I got on that, Robert, and I hope that helps you. All right. So let's now start. You had just booked your next 6. So we've got, okay. Yep. Does that help you, Robert? Let me know on that one with movement. And then we're going to go to the next one. All right. So that's right, spilling the tea. That's right. So Robert, one of my assistants is currently living with me. They just moved from Georgia to Charlotte, trying to get themselves together. I have given them 4 months. Really hope they move out on time because they have little kids and they are driving me crazy. Will they? Let's see how this goes. Do we see this assistant moving out? Hi, Leo Sagan. I got you, Robert. All right, so let's see. Tell me about whether we see this assistant moving out on time. Tell me whether we see this assistant moving out on time. How do we see the move out going from this assistant? Hold on a minute. I gotta shuffle again. How do we see this assistant doing? Do we see this assistant moving out in a smooth and timely way? All right, we got it now, Robert. Hold on a minute. 2 of Pentacles. 5 of Cups. Oh, God. Robert. Oh, she will move out, but I think she's not. I think she's going to try to stay long. Okay, here. All right. Here's what I got. I think she's going to try. I think she's going to try to stay longer, and I think you're going to have to stand your ground on something. Okay. I do think you're going to have to stand your ground. I think it's going to take that. I think she's going to try to stay. And I think you're going to have to call time. You don't have to stand in that Gemini power. All right. So, unfortunately, I think she's going to try to stay. I got the Eight of Cups in reverse. I got the Fool reversed. And whatever. Thank you so much, Joseph, for the contribution. I don't do super chat questions, and I'm not taking any more questions, but thank you for the 20 or the 10. At any rate, Robert, I think you're going to have to stand your ground. I think she will, but I don't think she's going to unless you say, you've got to go. What you might want to do, Robert, since you already kind of feel that she may hang tight with you for a little bit longer than she needs to, you may already start needing to lay the groundwork by talking about, you know, her looking for a place and this, that, and the other. And, you know, when you move out, I'll have room to do this, that, and the other, you know, that kind of thing. And I've got plans. I've got people that are coming to see me from, you know, Timbuktu. And, you know, I'll be able to let them stay in the room or rooms where you guys are at. I would already start laying the groundwork because you're going to have to stand up. Do what you need to do, Joseph. I don't care if you just beat the charge. It ain't nothing to me, but that's between you and YouTube. Okay? I don't care if you dispute it. Good luck with that. Anyway, that's what's up. That's what I feel. Okay? Let me go to your next question, Robert. No, I cannot reverse it. You need to contact YouTube. All right? Let me pull your other questions up, Robert. Anne Moran. I'm not taking any more questions right now, and even if I were, I don't take them from the chat. You have to book them. All right, so let's take a look at question 2 for you, Robert. Currently negotiating a contract with CBC. Seem like they're very anxious to get me to take them on as a client. Back in the day when we first talked to them, being a client, they weren't very interested. Now they seem like they are all over it. Going to go ahead and take them on. I sent them a quote with a specific price. I don't want to lower my price. What do you think I should do? Should I work with them more on the price or keep my price where it is? They are a headache. Well, let's see what the cards say. It sounds to me, Robert, like you're in a good place as far as having a position of power in the negotiations. How is this going to go? Okay. How is this going to go with this negotiation with CBC? How's this going to go? How is this going to go with this negotiation with CBC? How is this going to go with this negotiation between Robert and CBC? How's this going to go? How is this going to go between Robert and CBC on this negotiation? How's this going to go? They're not going to let you go, all right? You ain't got nothing to worry about, all right? They are going to, here's what I get. I do think they're going to try to mess with you some, but ultimately I see you winning this by holding your ground once again. The bottom line is they absolutely intend to hold on to you as far as working. It's like they're fixated on you helping them. So you're not wrong. They absolutely do want you to work with them. All right. And it's kind of like this energy of no questions asked. At the end of the day, I do get them being problematic. What I do feel like, Robert, is I think they're going to. I think that CBC may try to play hardball with you about your proposal. Okay, but I think if you stand your ground on this thing, I think that you'll get what you want. Yeah, you'll get what you want. You'll get what you want. I do think they're going to try to mess with you a little bit. There you go. Rent, start charging them rent. There you go. Love you, Steph. Take care, love. I see these people as being drama kings and queens in a lot of ways, but I see you making money off of it. God, I see you having I don't think this is going to be an easy win on this negotiation between you and this CBC, the church, but I think you will. I think you will. Hey, Tiana. Jasmine Rebellion, how you doing? All right, so we're talking about Dr. Anthony Andrews again. Let's see what we can find out, love. I got to get another M&M, Robert. I'm fueling up. Hang on one second, and then we're going to read for Anthony Andrews. All right. Tell me about the energy around taking on Anthony Andrews as a client. What is in the energies around taking on Anthony Andrews as a client? What about taking Anthony Andrews, the doctor, on as a client? I gotta shuffle again, Robert. What about taking Anthony Andrews on as a client for Robert? Robert, here's what I feel. Give me one more. All right, here's what I got. He's a bit shady. All right, Robert, he is a bit shady. I think here's what I think. Do I think you can do this? I do. Do I think you're going to have to be alert and pay attention to him? I do. Do I also think you're going to have to double and triple as far as document, covering yourself as a practitioner? Yes. Okay. And I think you need to be very observant and listen to what he's telling you and make sure that everything is consistent and you've dotted your I's and crossed your T's. Do I think you can make this work for you? I do. But I think you are going to, I think he's shady as hell. All right? I think he's shady as hell. But I think you can make money on this thing, but I think you're going to have to cover your butt, okay, if you know what I mean. Document, right? I'm sure you do that anyway, but I also feel like this, Robert. I kind of feel like he's a person that tries to make people feel very comfortable around him so that they'll drop their guard. This Anthony Andrews. And I think you need to be mindful of that. And you can certainly pull a Gemini and act like it works. And all the while you're sitting there like this, right? Taking everything in. Okay? So I think you can make money at this thing, but I think you're going to have to cover your butt. And I think he's the kind of person that's going to try to make you feel comfortable, and I don't think he's a person you ever should feel comfortable around as far as trusting what he says he's about. Does that make sense? That's what I got. So let me know if that works and makes sense to you about Dr. Anthony Andrews. And then after you let me know that, I'm going to read about question 4 and 5. All right. So, let's check in on the student loans. I do remember reading for this. I don't mind pulling for it again to see what we see. Let's see what we've got on the student loans. Tell me more about the student loan forgiveness program, PSLF. Tell me more about the student loan program in these last 2 years, them being paid off. Fully forgiven in 2 years. How does that look? Tell me more about it. I get the funding for that program being in question right now. There's some unknowns around funding that PSLF program. Why is that here? Okay. Here's what I got. Right now, there's a lot of unknowns around that program. The funding is in question. And I kind of get radio silence is what you're hearing on this thing right now. Maybe even some smoke and mirrors, unclear. A lack of clarity on the program itself and its future. I do think you have some good. I do think you will receive some sort of notification from this program that is good, but it may cause you to have to jump through some additional hoops. Do I think that this is going to happen? I do, but I think you're going to have to jump through some hoops to make it happen. Okay? That's what I got. So I don't get that. Yeah, you're going to have to absolutely advocate for yourself, all right? Why is that here? Yeah, I think this program is going to be okay. I think it's in jeopardy, but I think it's going to be okay. And again, I kind of feel like there is this possibility that you will have to jump through some more hoops before this is all said and done. Like additional information or, prove your case or, whatever, right? That's kind of what I feel like. Or just fill out all these half a dozen forms kind of thing. It's just some bureaucratic bullshit. But I think you'll get what you want. Liana, your booking just came through. I'm going to read for you after Robert. Okay, Liana? It just came through, which is odd, but I will absolutely read for it. Yeah, okay. Robert, I think you may be behind in the chat because I'm getting your responses about like 5 to 10 minutes after me. Here, let me tell you. All right. All right. You're welcome, Leona. Thank you. All right, so Robert, let me go to your next question. All right. We are actually on Janice Samuel and this life insurance. Let's see what we can find out. How does this look for Janice? Coming through on this life insurance. How does this look for Janice coming through on this life insurance? How does this look for Janice coming through on this life insurance? How does this look for Janice coming through on this life insurance? Is this going to happen? Is this going to happen for Janice? Is this going to happen for Janice? Is this going to happen for Janice? Yes. Yes. Yes, I do. I'm going to be real with you. You know what I think the issue is? I think she's going to do it, but I'm going to tell you, I think she's chinchy. I think she's a little bit of a tightwad, Robert, but I absolutely feel like she's going to think this through and go, I just need to do this so I can rest better. Literally. I think it's like going to put her mind at rest. I think she's a little bit of a tightwad to turn loose of money, but I absolutely think she's going to. King of Pentacles was the outcome. But I think that's the problem. I think she has no doubt that she needs it. To me, my cards tell me she absolutely knows she needs to do this. And she's telling me if I did this, I would rest better. I don't know if it's because she feels like this policy would take care of her heirs or her children or what have you. But that's what I got. That's what I got. It would take care of love. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I see that the outcome was the King of Pentacles in the upright, which is you making money off of it. So yeah, I absolutely do. I think she's solid on it, if that makes sense. Let me go back over. Did I get your last question? Yeah, that was your number 5. You've got one more question in the hopper, Robert, and you had said you were going to hold on to it till later. Do you want to hold it till later? Or do you want to give it to me and I can read for you now? Let's get some advice. What's the advice? What's the advice for Robert in handling this thing with Janice? What's the advice? You gonna save it? All right. I gotcha. What's the advice for Janice? Handling the situation with Janice. What's the advice? What's the advice, please? What's the advice? What's the advice for Robert? What's his best? What's his best? What's his best? Be reserved. Be reserved. Hold back. Let her come to you. Hold back. She will come to you. She will come to you. I'm getting hold back, hold back, hold back. She will come to you. I am getting she will come to you. Now, is she the kind of person that you interact with periodically? Keep interacting with her, but I think as far as broaching the subject of the policy, I would hold back on that for a little bit. You absolutely have success on this thing all day long. She is coming through. Yeah, Robert, here's the outcome on this thing. Mission accomplished. Money, abundance, right? There we have it. Oh yeah, I would just, hey Janice, how you doing? Good to see you. You know, that kind of thing, right? Yeah. You know, what I get from the cards is this. I think you being around her is a reminder of it. Yes. I think you just interacting with her and just, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. I hope you're having a good day. You know, how's your mom? And you know, that kind of thing, right? Absolutely. And I think that's the thing, is just being in front of her face and not saying anything. That's going to do it. I think so. I hope that helped, Robert. You ask about her mom. That's so funny. That is so funny. You want to? Yeah, we'll do the 6th one for sure. We got you, and then I have Liana after that. And then if you want 6 more, I'll do 6 more for you. Yeah. All right, we'll do number 6. Cora, I can't tell you when, Robert. You know I can't do when questions. But I will look and see if I can tell you the circumstances. How about that? What about the circumstances for Cora when she approaches Robert? What about 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 Cora when she approaches Robert? What are the circumstances? What are the circumstances? Mm-hmm. Good Lord. Robert, this is going to blow your mind. You know, we predicted the stuff around her job, right? Here's what I get. She's going to become, I think she's going to first reach out to you for advice. And I do think there is some sincerity in that, okay? I think her reason for reaching out to you is twofold. Okay, I think legit she actually wants your advice. She's coming to you for counsel. The King of Swords here and the Two of Swords in reverse. She's hoping that leads into something else as well. She does miss you, by the way. But I kind of feel like that it's going to be around her job problems and hoping that you can give her advice. I don't think she's asking for money, okay? I don't think that's what this is. Tell me more on that. No, I think she's getting your advice on how to find a new job, all right? So I think she's coming to you for wise counsel. She may come to you and say, do you know of any jobs, right? It could be that. But she kind of looks at you as the go-to guy when it comes to good business sense, right? With the King of Swords, that's how she sees you. And her approach is twofold. She legitimately does want your help, your knowledge. She wants to pick your brain. And I think that's going to be, I think in her mind, she's hoping that's also a lead in to the other. Because I absolutely got 2 comeback around cards in this spread. So, and I got twofold Two of Swords here in the reverse, opening up the conversation, right, that was previously blocked, and hoping for some clarity. And I feel like it's about 2 different things. And I'm literally picking up on the fact of, her having, lost that job, 8 of Pentacles in reverse, that can speak to that. And then also, we have the card of missing you with the 6 of Cups, the Death reverse, the 10 of Swords rather in the reverse, and the come back around card. So, that's what I feel like the circumstances are. I think that's the nature of how she first approaches you, which is kind of interesting. I kind of wondered how that would go, but I kind of think that that's what she's going to do. Is there anything else you can tell me about this? The Star, the 9 of Cups. What I'm really getting is this. Stand in your... Okay. The 9 of Cups and the Gemini card is here, the Magician card. That's our power card, right, Robert? The Gemini card. And the 9 of Cups is here. The 9 of Cups reminds you have everything you need. And so this is about standing up for yourself and not abandoning yourself with regard to Cora. And the Star card is here. I think you can definitely offer her hope in her circumstances for sure. But I also feel like you need to have this firm boundary on being emotionally self-sufficient, if you know what I mean, right? because, you know, this can go well or not, right? But I absolutely feel like standing your ground, standing in your power, okay? As far as a sovereign person who doesn't need a woman, right? Is gonna be good for you. So you got a lot of advice there. I'm getting don't jump in too quickly too, which we've talked about that. We definitely talked about that. You know, again, King of Pentacles, she's competing with your current peace right now, right? So that's what I got. Hey, Zershin, how you doing? So that's what I got, and I hope that helps you, Robert. All right, we're going to read for Liana, and Robert, if you want 6 more, holla. But Liana, let me read for you. All right, so, and thank you for your patience, Liana. I think what happened was, sometimes, Liana, I heard, don't fold too quick. You know what? That's very consistent with what I saw, Faith. That's very consistent with what I saw. Don't fold too quick. I love that. Yeah, you've got to remember that you know, that kind of thing. You're welcome, Robert. Like I said, I'm gonna read for Liana, and then if you want 6 more, holla. If not, you know where I am. But anyway, Liana, I think what happened was, sometimes when people book internationally, it takes stuff a little bit longer to come through. And so I think it took, because from the time that I put like sold out to the time I got the notification for it was a good 10 minutes. And I know you had to have booked before I did that. So there was just that crossover. So thank you so much for being patient. All right. Okay, good. All right, so Liana, you are a Capricorn. The guy I see told me he's single, but was seen with a female, and it just doesn't feel right. Wondering who else he sees. We are not in a relationship. So let's see. First, I'm going to find out, Liana, what his relationship status is. Oh, hold on a minute. Why did that flip around? Hang on one second. What is his relationship status? What is his relationship status? What is his relationship status? Oh, what is his relationship status? 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 For Liana the Capricorn, the guy that she is talking about right now, give me this man's relationship status. 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 I gotta shuffle again, Liana. Give me this man's relationship status. Give me this man's relationship status that Liana the Capricorn is asking about. Okay, there we go. Give me this man's relationship status, please. He is seeing someone else. He is entertaining someone else. I don't think he's in a relationship with them, but he is seeing someone. He is entertaining at least one other, maybe more than that. I'm going to see if I can find out more about this person that you saw him with, or that someone else saw him with. He is definitely seeing someone. I did see that. He's entertaining more than one person. Actively dating around. I mean, like, I literally got the card of actively dating around. All right. Let's see who this female is. What is this female to him? What is this female to him? She's an ego boost. She's not somebody he's planning to commit to. She's somebody who shows him attention and he enjoys it. He's not going to commit to her. Will he commit to Liana? 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 No, he's not. I think he's non-committal in general. I think he's non-committal. I think he has a problem with emotional vulnerability, period. He detaches emotionally. He does enjoy the attention of females, but I think he's got an aversion to commitment overall. He may not tell you about that. He's actually, I'm going to tell you what some of his problem is. He's hung up on an ex. He's not over an ex. All right? Yeah, he's carrying a lot of baggage. And as such, he lacks emotional depth and emotional maturity, and he absolutely has an aversion to commitment. So that's what I got. That's what I got, Liana. That's what I got. Unfortunately. And I hope that helps you. So I think he is single. I think he was honest with you about that. But I absolutely think his intention is to stay that way. So here's where you are, Liana. You got to ask yourself this. What do I want? What's important to me? And if you're okay just casually dating him, then hey, and you have a good time with him and you don't mind that he sees other people, then that would be okay. But if you're looking for something that's going to lead to something more, I would say he's not your guy. He's not going to offer that to you. He's not going to be able to give you. If you're looking for something with more depth, and there's not even a wrong answer to that. You know, sometimes we're at a stage in our lives where we're good with that, and other times we're not. And I can't say for what you're looking for, but what I can say is if you're looking for something beyond that, he's not going to be the one to provide that to you. I hope that helps you, babe. And you are welcome. You're absolutely welcome. Oh, did he lie to you about it? If he told you he wasn't seeing others, then yeah, that's problematic. That's problematic. For sure. For sure, for sure. He said I was the only one. Yeah. He's absolutely dating around. He is absolutely dating around. And I'm going to be real with you, Liana. I think based on the cards that I saw, I wouldn't be surprised if there are more than just you and you and yet others, not just that other girl that you know about. I think there's probably another one or two outside of that. I mean, there may be 3 or 4 women he's entertaining right now. Kiddie pool. There you go. Yeah. I think he sees multiple women, more than 2. I think he absolutely enjoys attention. I think he's in his ego in a major way. I picked that up throughout that reading. Liana, I think he absolutely thrives on it when women give him attention. I picked up a little bit of a player vibe. A little bit of a player. Well, hey, Miss Zancy, how are you doing? Good to see you. Are the vibes good? Always. Always. Absolutely. Always. Oh, Miss Zanzi, remember when Birdie did that reading for you? He paid for that reading for you the other night. That is still in the hopper. So if you have a question that you want to get answered, you can do that, Miss Zanzi, because he had told me that if you popped in to let you know, and that he would absolutely. He was like, yes, absolutely, still do that. With you as the captain, guaranteed. Well, I hope so. But anyway, if you want to do that, we can do that, Ms. Zanzi. We absolutely can. Hey, Tawny. What's up? Dealer's choice? Okay, we can do that. We can definitely do that. Remind me, Ms. Z, of your zodiac sign so that I know that while I'm reading for you. I always like to know that. It's not imperative, but I just like to know that. So while I do this, I'm going to get you to give me your zodiac sign, and we'll go from there and see what we can find out, love. You're a Leo. Ah, well, happy birthday. Let's see what's up for Miss Z. Miss Z the Leo. What does Miss Z the Leo need to know most? What does Miss Z the Leo need to know most? What does Miss Z need to know most? What does Miss Z need to know most? What does Miss Zanzi need to know most? Miss Zanzi the Leo. What does Miss Zanzi the Leo need to know most? What does Miss Zanzi 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 need to know most? Nine of Cups, Death reversed, Page of Wands in the reverse. Be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for. Sometimes not getting what you want is a wonderful stroke of luck. All right? I feel like this. There may be somebody that you are missing right now, and that is okay. To grieve loss is okay. I want to talk to you about missing a person, and this may or may not be a romance connection. This could be a kid or a sibling or a family member, okay? But I want you to stop and think about when we miss someone, okay? Because that's a normal thing, missing somebody, right? In actuality, I want to challenge your thinking on that. I suggest to you that you don't miss a person so much as you miss a feeling that they gave you, a feeling that you felt when you were around that person. I think that might be what you miss, okay? And what I feel like saying to you is that feeling you can actually give yourself. You can actually find ways to experience that feeling. Whatever that feeling was, feeling loved, accepted, magical, all of those things, alive. Sometimes we describe that person made me feel alive. Actually, you felt alive with that person, but they brought something out in you that was already there. That feeling, a feeling accepted, a feeling whole, a feeling loved, what all of those things might be, right? Feeling magical, feeling alive, feeling vibrant. Those are all your feelings, and you can absolutely recreate that for yourself in other ways. So I feel like that one of your struggles right now is wishing to recreate that, and you actually sometimes can't even recreate that because sometimes things happen to where you can no longer have that connection with a person like you once may have. And sometimes we don't realize that, right? And sometimes we can find that in other ways. And so I challenge you, that feeling that you are missing, I challenge you to find ways to recreate that within yourself, in other connections, in other activities around your life, and that sort of thing. All right? So we have to let go of the idea of a person supposed to be in our life. You can love a person all day long, but that doesn't mean you need to be with them if you have to abandon yourself in order to do it. All right? So I want you to open yourself up to the possibility that life may not look exactly like you had once thought it was going to, but maybe, just maybe, life could actually be better. So that's what I got. That's what I got. And I hope that helps you. I hope that helps you, Ms. Z. Maybe take a step back and realize your old life wasn't for you to begin with, right? That is going to help you to release that. Good. I'm glad that was helpful for you, Ms. Z. I'm glad that was helpful for you. I'm glad that was helpful for you. And as always, thank you for the kind feedback. Thank you, Ms. Z. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for that. Oh, well, I'm glad you popped in, Ms. Z, because we didn't know. Because I had asked Bertie earlier. He was here earlier. He had to run, but he was here earlier. But I had asked him earlier. I said, if Ms. Z shows in the chat, I will thank him for you. I absolutely will. But I told him, I said, if Ms. Z, do you want me to read for you, or do you want to just hold it for Ms. Z. He said, no, don't read for me. Just hold it for Ms. Z. Just leave it in the hopper. I said, okay, I got you. So he'll be glad to know that you made it. But I will definitely let him know that you thanked him for that. I know that'll mean a lot to him. I'm sure that'll mean a lot to him. So thank you as always. Anywho, that kind of wraps it up. With that being said, I might just call it a night and go chill for a little bit. I appreciate everybody who booked questions. And I'll see you guys next time. I'm sure I'll do some uploads before tomorrow and have some stuff going up tomorrow. I think Scorpio is next for Tawny, Tawny, if you're still here. I think we're going to be uploading Scorpio tomorrow and probably Sagittarius, hopefully Capricorn too. Very quiet tonight, which is a blessing because I get blasted with energy when I come in here. Yeah, it was a pretty good night. Thank you, Faith. Faith, you know, I want to tell you, Faith, I am so glad that you were in agreement to be a mod for me. I really enjoy your being in the chats. I really do. So I appreciate that, and I truly thank you for, stepping up to the plate in that role. Thank you so much. It's always nice when that happens. It's always nice when magical things happen here at the cottage, right? Anyhow, thank you. All right, love bugs. I will see you guys next time. Oh, there's Tawny. She says definitely look forward to. Good. It should go up tomorrow, fairly early in the day. I would like to think so. I don't know what time zone you're on, Tawny. I'm on Central Time. God, I hope I get it up before noon. Anyway, hi Charmaine. How are you doing? Good to see you. Anyway, I'll see you guys later, and we'll talk again soon. Love y'all. Bye.